the Morton Frank Award for Best International Business Reporting in Magazines and sponsored by Mark Lemke. The citation goes to Nizar Manek and Jeremy Hodge of Africa Confidential for opening the black box of Egypt's slush funds. The winner is Christina Larson of Foreign Policy. In her story, The Zhao Method, Christina chronicles the rise of 23-year-old Zhao Bowen, who abandoned China's state-run scientific research institutions to join the country's emerging entrepreneurial class. Christina.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for your attention. After our last distinguished winner, I feel like I should have some more jokes for you. Fortunately, my talk is a little bit straight. I wanted to first thank the editors at Foreign Policy who helped me in shaping this piece, especially Amanda Silverman and Mindy K. Brinker, and also to thank Ben Pauker, Becky Frankel, and Saywert Darby, who are all here tonight. I also wanted to thank past editors at different publications who shaped my thinking and style of analysis. As any magazine writer or journalist working in any medium probably knows, writing or photo editing or going about whatever your work is sometimes feels like an ongoing conversation with every good editor you've ever had. And so I wanted to acknowledge Paul Glastris, Charlie Peters, Rich Stone, Susan Glasser, and many others I've had the privilege to work with. I first reported in China on a fellowship in 2009 and first wrote for Foreign Policy, I first reported for China on a fellowship in 2007 and first wrote for Foreign Policy in 2009. At that time, the big China story felt like one of unstoppable growth. China was building a new power plant every week and accounted for fully half the world's concrete production. It felt like an unstoppable juggernaut. Now, as the Chinese economy slows, as factories and coal mines and steel plants begin to close, it's clear that the old export and infrastructure-led model of growth must give way to something else. And so in reporting on scientists, technology companies, and the startup ambitions in China today, I have the great privilege of glimpsing what the country might become. The profile I worked on for Foreign Policy magazine followed the story of one young maverick scientist who left the traditional Chinese Academy of Sciences to found his own gut microbe mapping startup in Beijing, raising millions of dollars from private investors and attempting to live out a new kind of Chinese dream. We don't know yet whether or not he'll be fully successful, but it is clear by the number of startups and the money flowing into the startup space in Beijing that there are many hundreds, probably thousands, who are attempting to follow a similar path. And it'll be interesting to see what that means for China and for the relationship between the US and China. And then finally, on a closing note, I wanted to give a shout out and thank all of the freelance writers, photographers, and other journalists who today play a vital, if often underappreciated role in modern foreign correspondence, sometimes at great physical peril and often at their own financial peril. For the past several years, I've been part of that tribe, and I salute all the other tough-minded, independent journalists who somehow just buckle down and make extraordinary things happen, finding ways to tell important and difficult stories that the world otherwise wouldn't hear. Thank you.